Hello, it's Monday, it's the 30th of May. We're coming to the end of May from tomorrow, and it's going to be interesting. And of course, the reason why I'm a little bit perkier today than I was over the weekend, you wouldn't have wanted to hang out with me over the weekend. I was miserable. I was everything. I've got shiny new teeth, and I mean, I've still got my normal teeth. They've just been cleaned up by my lovely doctor at my local dental surgery. By the way, it's been a year and a bit that I've been to the dentist to get a checkup. And oh my God, just in that open waiting room, it's awful. You sat next to somebody who starts coughing, then you move somewhere else, and then somebody starts to... And I thought, oh, you know what? This is like something out of Seinfeld. So I just had to stand up in the middle of the waiting area until I was called. I was like, what a relief. Holy shit. So I don't want to catch any germs off anybody. It's not the whole COVID situation. I just don't like catching germs, period. But let's look at Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick. What did it do in its box office over the weekend?
Here we go. In 3.
Woo!
2.
Wow!
Oh.
It's
1.
As you know, I saw this film last Wednesday. Absolutely great. I'm going to go and watch it again at the IMAX very soon. The thing I love about the film, and I forgot to mention this in my review, is that it is not ashamed to be patriotic, jingoistic, the whole 9 yards. I'm really glad you saw the American flag in certain pivotal moments in the movie. It makes sense. It suits the tone. But this article from Fortune. Now, I know I've seen some other reaction videos going to the usual suspects like Hollywood Reporter and Deadline, but Fortune, they've got a really good article here actually. So Tom Cruise's new Top Gun movie could take films back to the late 70s and the golden age of blockbusters. Okay, so this is by Tristan Bove, and it's a good article actually. So in case you want to know what it made over the weekend, it's $100 million. You know, for a blockbuster that cost $152 million to make, that's pretty good. Yeah, Doctor Strange made over $450 million in its first opening week, but then took a bit of a woo-hoo dive by $61 million in its second week. I don't know what the current state of play with Doctor Strange and the wokeness and madness is doing, but I don't really care about that. We are just talking about Top Gun Maverick right here. Its likely success suggests 1970s and 80s styles blockbusters may not be as unprofitable as once thought. Why would anybody think that for? I told you, if you want to go to a bygone era when actual good movies came out and they had like a I'm trying to think of the phrase now. They had like good writing, good directing. There's a lot of love and care and attention that was given to them. You know, now you got the Marvel and DC formulas, the superhero franchises where they replace practical effects with CGI effects, and it's getting so monotonous. Nobody likes it. But here we have, this is really amazing, said Paul Dera. Oh my God, I'm going to say, I was rehearsing this name before. Right, let me try it again. Paul de Garabedian. Paul de Garabedian. He's a film industry analyst with media analytics company Comscore. And he told Fortune, if you were to go back in time 2 years ago in 2020 right now, the box office was essentially non-existent. The belief that the pandemic killed the movie theatre industry appears to have been dashed, as Paul calls Top Gun's expected success symbolic of how important the movie theatre experience is. Top Gun comes on the heels of big box office returns from this year's much-awaited superhero movies, including The Batman and Spider-Man No Way Home. The latter became the 6th highest-grossing movie in history earlier this year. But one thing that No Way Home has in common with Top Gun Maverick is that they both have that I suppose they can actually owe their debt of success to Cobra Kai, because remember back in 2018 when Cobra Kai was a YouTube Red series, at the time even I was thinking, how are they going to bring back Danny and Johnny? Like, what's that going to be like? But it seems interesting. Nobody asked for it. Now we're going to get a 5th season of Cobra Kai this year, and with the changes that Netflix are making, I'm hoping to make a video about that as well, where they just want to remove woke content out of their platform just to get back 200 million plus subscribers. I'm kind of curious to see how that's all going to go. But if you go further on down in this article, I mean, they even mention here Francis Ford Coppola's Godfather. Yeah, it's an artsy film, but it was a blockbuster as well, but not in the conventional sense. Obviously, it had Jaws in 1975 as well, but we're talking classic films that to this day, people still talk about them because they are classic movies. There's also a macroeconomic dimension to blockbuster cinema. The revolution that began with Jaws and entrenched with Star Wars in 1977 came during the Great Inflation, a period of economic turmoil in the US, similar to the one moviegoers are living through today. And of course, inflation all over the world, folks, it's just gone kaflooey, hasn't it? Maverick is definitely a throwback to a bygone era, and I think people really appreciate that it's kind of old-fashioned storytelling he added. I think that's a no-brainer, actually, Paul. Degara Badian, because everybody like me has been saying that. It's just a good old-fashioned movie. It's not afraid to be what it set out to be. It's actually better than the original Top Gun as well, something I thought I'll never ever say. And people who have seen this film have just said it's stomach turning with the dog fights, just the aerial nature of what they show with the airplanes, the cockpits. It's great. I mean, the first Top Gun was more about, we're enlisting you, son, to join the Navy. Now this is like, well, if you're thinking about joining the Navy, this is what it's going to be like. But man, that last half an hour of that film, and they just tack on some extra goodies in there. It's like, who is this idiot that keeps cropping up in my feed? Oh my God. But that's it, folks. A quick video on the, well, look, this film, they've said it's even this article, they think this can go on to make $1 billion at the box office. And as long as it kills Doctor Strange too, man, please let this be a juggernaut that keeps on going. I doubt very much we're going to get Top Gun 3. I think Tom Cruise just wants to concentrate on the last 2 Mission Impossible films, which, by the way, you know, when the first one comes out next year, people are going to be saying the same thing about that as well. When you watch that trailer, you get the feel that it's a good old-fashioned blockbuster movie. That's a little bit more hectic in its action and everything else, but I don't mind. So folks, if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you leave a like below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, or I might get my Catwoman whip out and give you a good old lashing on your behind. And if I were you, I would check me out on my next video.